Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. 1 second here. Oops. Mistake. Error. Up. Okay. And oops. Okay. Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. Sulman Rahim here, Master of the Covenant, breaker of the 7 seals. Brothers and sisters, if you survived that shitstorm that they put on at Farrakhan's so-called Nation of Islam, if you survived that shitstorm, one second, I want to check something here. Let me see, one more thing here. So we have still working, trying to get the system together, brothers and sisters. I think I'm got it okay now. Let's see. Okay, no. Okay. Let's see. Input, audio, input, audio. A little technical issue here. Okay, I should. Audio input. Okay, I think that's where. Get a little echo here. 1, 2, 3. 1. Right. Okay. I think I solved it. Okay. Let me change this. 1, 2. Okay. Okay, I think we're okay, brothers and sisters. One thing here. Okay. Okay, that was it. Okay, brothers and sisters. I'm going to do a little critique on that. Let me do this here. Just a backup here. I'm doing a critique on that, brothers and sisters, because by the end of the presentation by saying, you get nothing but the truth here. We don't lie. And everything they said was a total lie. Everything. Everything they said was a total lie. We tell the truth and we can prove it. They can't prove a damn thing they said. Nothing. All lies. Total lies. So where do we begin? Well, first of all, they're claiming that Farrakhan was anointed by Allah, but that's not true, because he was chosen by Elijah. If he Exodus, God was against it. He was very angry with Moses, even by suggesting it. I was there in 1975. I was there from 70 to 75. So I know just everything they said was a lie. Farrakhan, the government didn't tear down the Nation of Islam. Farrakhan and Wallace did it together. Farrakhan didn't say he was going to be with Elijah, with Wallace, as long as he taught the message teachers. He said no such thing. And if he was anointed by Elijah, then why would he concede to Wallace anyway? Because Wallace was officially out of the nation at the time. Messing officially, he was barred. He was barred because he kept bad-mouthing the messenger, bad-mouthing Master Muhammad, bad-mouthing what Elijah Muhammad taught. He would go out and put his little articles in the Chicago sometimes about how the messenger was false prophet and all this kind of stuff. Teaching Sunnism. So he was barred. He was barred. I'm still getting some of the echo here, Brown says. I'm not sure where it's coming from. Let me check a couple more things right here quick here. Oh, I thought I turned it off. Okay. Okay, is that off? Or no? Okay, we'll see. So he was barred. He was barred because he was doing exactly what he did, and everybody knew what Wallace was going to do. He made no secrets. He made no secrets about what he was going to do. He immediately started getting rid of everything Elijah Muhammad did. It wasn't a year later, 6 months later, immediately. And Farrakhan was right there. They're trying to clean up their shit. That's what the bottom line is. Oh, he was with him until he started turning against the messenger. No, he was against the messenger from day one. He let everybody be known. Everybody knew I was there. Everybody knew what Wallace would do if he got in charge. He did it. He was burning up all Elijah Muhammad's teachings, all the books and everything else. He was burning all that stuff up because I rescued some of it. Right? He stopped printing Muhammad Speak newspaper. He got rid of the name of the NOI. He started something called Belalians. Farrakhan was right there with him. They went to court and dismantled everything the messenger had. They destroyed the lives of thousands, tens of thousands of believers who had put everything, was totally invested in the nation of Islam, totally invested. Farrakhan admits it. A lot of people were crazy. A lot of people went back to prison because they was out only because they had jobs that Farrakhan and Wallace destroyed. They said they didn't need any jobs. They said the white folks have all the jobs, so they had to create their own jobs. They went out to dismantle everything the messengers did. They destroyed the lives of thousands, hundreds, tens of thousands of black people. Right? Got rid of stores, the banks, right? Transportation, everything, the paper, everything, and started something called Belalians, right? The messenger had all the nation's business in the nation's name. So Wallace went to court, his family went to court, says no, that doesn't belong to these people, that belongs to the messenger, his follower, and the only person that had standing was Farrakhan, because he's supposed to be chief spokesman. He could have went and contested, he did not, they paid him off. He thought he was going to get pieces of pie, so he said nothing. He let Wallace run wild. He was right there with them. He was one of his chief ministers. Because he thought he was going to get pieces of pie. So since there was no one to contest what Wallace was saying, they got to control all the wealth, all the property, everything that Elijah Muhammad built, and they liquidated it. So they got rid of the temple, they got rid of mosques, they got rid of everything, right? There was nothing left for the believers. Believers lost everything, lost their jobs, their livelihoods, their houses, their apartments, everything. Because I lived in the Nation of Islam apartment building. Lost everything. I was a foreman of Muhammad Speaks newspaper. We lost everything. They took everything and started a thing called Belalians, and it was Sunnism, 100%. That's what it did. And when Farrakhan didn't get any pieces of pie like he thought he was going to get, because after they got everything they want, they threw him to the curb like a two-bit whore. Exactly what they did. They gave him nothing. He said so. He said he had nothing. They gave him nothing. They lied to him. They tricked him because he's a fool. And he's a coward. And then he got scared because he had nothing. And then you had these brothers called the, well, I'm not going to go into the detail, but these brothers that they defend the messenger's name, well, they call them the death angels. And somehow when they came around, people disappeared. So they would look for Farrakhan because he was bad mouth the messenger and everything to deal with him. So the coward left town. He ran. He had no money. He ran. He said he had nothing. And where he ran? He ran back to Massa to get back on the screen, back on the stage to shake his ass. Now, is this a man that's anointed by God? This is a man that believed in Islam? Even if he doubted whether the messenger was alive or not, and he was given charge of all the followers, why would he run and abandon them when the wolves came? Why would he abandon them, the sheep, when the wolves came? Why would he run back to Massa, plead with Massa to get back on the stage? That's exactly what he did, to shake his ass. That's where he was when this Kushmir found him. See? And the only reason why he came back because Kushmir convinced him he can come back and get this thing going again. He can make some money because he said he was down and out. He had no money, was broke. He couldn't get back on stage because the master kept saying, no, Louis, you was bad mouthing us. You was saying bad things about us. So he wasn't going to give him a break. See? And all the other actors, they didn't stand for him. They had one, I can't remember what his name was. That's the real story. So he had nothing. So he came back and figured he could milk what's left for the NOI because it was all gone. They destroyed it. Milk was going ready to and live off of them. And exactly what he did. Exactly what he did. Because he's teaching Sunniism, teaching this with Wallace. How was he disagree with Wallace when he's teaching what Wallace said? Yeah, we love America. America's our country, long belongs to us. So somebody, he replaced the American flag. He's telling you to fight for America. We ain't going anywhere. So anyway, that's a big lie right there. So he came back and started living off the Nation of Islam. Putting sisters out in the streets, do fundraisers. Something Messenger never did. Excuse me, brother, says I'm still nursing my voice. That's just one thing. They try to get you to think that Elijah Muhammad is the 25th scientist. They try to talk about the angel revelation where they have no knowledge of whatsoever. So they don't go as far as claim that the seals were broken, but they're trying to get you to think is Elijah Muhammad is going to break the seals. See, that's where he is right now. He's being taught to break the seals. See, trying to counter the real seal breaker. But then they try to tell you things about Revelation, but how can they tell you about Revelation? If it's sealed, he has broken the seals. So that right there is a lie. Because whatever they're saying about it is a lie. And Elijah Muhammad talked about Revelation, but he talked about it in the sense of that's what he thought it meant. He never said Master Muhammad told him that's what it meant, because Master Muhammad never claimed in the lessons any place he broke those seals. And Elijah Muhammad never made that claim either. He was just going and trying to guess what it means. It doesn't mean what they thought it meant, because he said things. He said like the 10 horns represents the 10 countries in Central America. They're going to attack America. It was totally wrong. He said Armageddon would take place in the 1970s. Totally wrong. I ain't taking anything from Elijah Muhammad. He dealt with what knowledge he had. But he said himself, Master Muhammad only gave him knowledge for the last 40 years. So why are you still talking about what Elijah Muhammad said when he said he only given, and we got the tape to prove it. He said he only get enough information the last 40 years. Let's back up about this plotting. See, in Thessalonians it says that they was plotting against the messenger. He was one of the plotters. He was one of the plotters. That's why Elijah Muhammad be taken away, because they was plotting against them. He was one of the plotters. When it gets back to the angel, Revelations again, see, it unlocks all the scriptures. When it gets back there, he's saying, well, he's the lamb. Well, no. Because he didn't break the seal. But they said, well, he's going to do that in the future. Right? Slain from the founders of earth. He doesn't know what that means either. But think about this, and he says, well, there was no one in heavens or earth or under earth could break those seals. Now, but he says the one set on the throne is God, is Master Muhammad, the God or whatever. which is totally wrong. Because if he's got the book, he's in the heavens or on the earth. He's in one of those places, right? But it says no one in heavens or earth or under the earth. So that means nobody could break those seals. Nobody knew their contents. Because if the one on the throne had the book and he wrote the book, how would he not know what's in the book? How would he not know what's in it? How could he not break the seals he put on the seals himself? So say he put some unbreakable seals he couldn't get to himself. But how would he not know what's in the book? He said he couldn't even look at it. So how would he know what's in the book? Right? Why doesn't he know what's in the book if he's the one that made the book? Because that's Satan on the throne. He don't know what the hell he's talking about. See? So Farrakhan takes it, because they had the book for 2,000 years, they understand it. That's the one sitting on the throne. If you read the transliteral, it says it's a lying throne. That means the one on the throne is a liar. Okay? So if he hasn't broken the seals, that means he doesn't have any idea what the book means. That's what he's saying. So he's insinuating that Allah is going to break the seals. Because no one's heaven, earth, abundant could break it. So you got to find the person that broke the seals. That's the Son of Man. They ain't say, well, the Son of Man, Master Muhammad says Son of Man have control of the weather and everything. But he said, well, the Son of Man is kind of spook or spirit, because that's what he's trying to say. Because he don't necessarily say Master Muhammad done it. He tried to insinuate that he's a reflection of what he's thought and all that kind of stuff, right? So it's lies. Like I said, close in there. It's like, everything we say is absolute truth. We never lie here. Everything they say is a lie. Everything they say is a lie, total. They haven't broken the seals. That means they don't know what it means. They ain't trying to say Master Elijah Muhammad, well, he must be a 25th scientist because he's wiser than other scientists. Well, first of all, they're not scientists. That's 24. See? But he said, well, he's wise. He's 20. Now he's a 25th scientist. Now he's the God. They had no idea what they're talking about. None whatsoever. Bunch of fools. Like I said, if you survive that shitstorm over there, we got the real deal for you here. Now idea what they're talking about? They're liars. Misrepresent. They're trying to give you the impression that Elijah's alive and that Farrakhan's talking to him. That gives credibility to Farrakhan, because that means he's going along with what Elijah wants and Master Muhammad wants. That's a lie. He's not communicating with anybody. See? He's cursed by them. That's why he's cursed with a curse. He's cursed with disembowelment. That's the worst curse a man could even think of. Disembowelment. So they're trying to counter our message, brothers and sisters. They're not going to be successful because higher pressure destroys lower pressure. So they can go out there and make all this stuff. I mean, it's been like a month now and they haven't talked about anything current events. Why? Because they don't know. So they're afraid to say something. See? It don't happen that way. Because everything is real time now. Everything's in real time now. And it's happened quickly. Only one's telling you what's happening, what's going to happen in detail is myself. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. Everything they said was a lie. Oh, we never lie. Well, that's all you do is lie. So I can go on and on and on because everything they said, I can check everything they said. Everything they said was a lie. All of it. Total lie. Total confusion. See? Farrakhan's not in touch with Master Muhammad. He's not in touch with Elijah. He can't claim, oh, no, he's not in touch with them. And when they do return, they're going to destroy him. You better read Exodus again. When they came back to the camp, they took and got rid of Farrakhan, all his followers. Everybody worshiping that golden calf. Soon as they're going to be rid of all of them. So I think I'm going to leave it there, brother. Says, I mean, I can talk quite a bit, but who am I talking to? Because I'm talking to demons. It's not going to matter to them. Usually, brothers and sisters, like I said, I haven't read much rest lately. Trying to keep the systems up and working. And looking at what's going on right now, I may have bad issue with the sound, but I'm going forward to continue. So they say no one calls Farrakhan a lie. I call him a lie. I call him a lie to his face. He wants to debate. I'll debate him because he don't know a damn thing. He's lying. He lied about the whole thing. He get all this scenarios. He's going to be crucified and try to use back vague statements from the Quran, try to back them up. So they can prove everything. They can't prove any of this bullshit they're talking about. See, can prove Farrakhan, he says father's the devil. We had the proof, he says it. That's why he don't want to call it devil anymore, because he don't want his father to be called a devil. He don't want you to call his father a devil. Father's a devil. He's a demon. He's weak and wicked and a liar. He's a demon, chief demon, legion, Louis Eugene Ground, NOI backwards. The time has come to an end. Now he said, in a few days you're going to realize all this. Yes, you're going to realize it. Realize they were total liars, they was using you and abusing you. Because war's going to break out in the Middle East. As I've been stating, first, spread to Europe, and then to Asia, and be invaded by Asia and Africa, America. America's out for destruction. They're confused. I put a hook in their jaw. They draw them to destruction. All those with them, like Farrakhan, Science, all the rest of them. Yeah, so a few days, things gonna happen in a few days. But they're not gonna like it. And we're gonna show them no mercy, none whatsoever. Not to the demons, no, not whatsoever, none whatsoever. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. They're trying to make you think Elijah is more than what he is. He says, it's messenger of Allah's all, period. They got to build him up to build Farrakhan up. It takes a lot to build Farrakhan up because he's trash. He has a shithole, that's what he is. His whole reality is about to come crumbling down. Please stop tormenting me. Read Mark. That's Legion. Louis Eugene Ground, NY backwards. Please stop tormenting us. Oh, I'm tormenting you. But you're liars. Devil. That's why he don't want you to call it devil anymore, because he don't want his father to call it devil. He wants you to call his father a devil. Messenger never told him not to call devils any devils anymore. I was there. All the other ministers kept saying, he actually used the word after the message was going for a while until they locked down Sunnism. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. I think I'm gonna leave it there because I said it was a shitstorm, not relevant. They were defensive. They haven't done anything about current events, tell people how to prepare what's going on, anything. Just constantly trying to buttress up Farrakhan, try to show somehow how he was the man, get that money rolling in. But those days are almost over, brothers and sisters, so I'm gonna leave it there. So I'm gonna have more to say on later, but I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna get some much needed rest, brothers and sisters, because I'm cool. I'm gonna take a little bit of rest. I'll probably follow up later on today. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. So I'm gonna leave it there. Assalamu alaikum.